Houston Real Estate Radio.
Welcome back to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and glad to be with you this Sunday. We have a call-in number, 281-882-8088, that you can call anytime and leave your question, and we'll answer it right here on the air on AM 700 KSEV. So welcome back to the show. I want to introduce my next guest, which is Jim Klauck, and he is with Check Pro. Welcome, Jim.
Shannon, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on your show.
So you have a great product. I know that here at RREA, we use your product. We give it out for free to clients, to consumers. Anybody that we come in contact with, we give away these great cards. Tell us about the cards that you have.
I will tell you about the card. We've got this $25 gift card with Check Pro, and it can be used with over 200 pre-qualified contractors. So you as a realtor and your team here are able to give this out to your clients, and they can find pre-qualified companies, painters, roofers, landscapers, carpet cleaners, anything they need.
Which is great, because when people get ready to sell their house, they always have things to do. I mean, no matter how clean you keep it, no matter how much you maintain it, when you move out, it's got to be re-cleaned. You've got to have the carpets cleaned. There's so many little things that have to be done. Usually got to repaint because all those nail holes in the walls. So it's a great resource. Checkapro.com is a great website that my clients can go to find these contractors. How do you find contractors to put on your site?
Interesting you say that. Years ago, I did a lot of networking and asked people, do you know the best contractors in your area? Now, I started the company in Katy, Texas back in 2005, and since then we've expanded. We're in the Woodlands. We now actually have started a new one in Spring. We're Pearland and Sugarland and so forth. And today, we actually don't do any cold calls. It's word of mouth. People find us for the most part, or I'll go to one of our existing contractors and ask them, hey, do you know a good electrician in Spring? We have a lot of demand for that category. Can you help me out? So it's pretty much invite only at this point in time.
Okay. So if consumers want to check a pro card, of course, they can always call us here at RREA and get one, or they can contact you directly through your website.
It's very easy. Checkapro.com. You can't miss it. It's right on the homepage.
So if I have a client, let's say I have a client in Spring, Texas, and they have a Check a Pro card in their wallet, they pull it out, they know they can save $25 when they go to Check a Pro and pick their contractor. How do they... what do they do at that point? What's next? They go on the website. What do they need to look for?
Shannon, it's really easy. They go to checkapro.com. Then they're going to click on the market they're in. So if they're in Spring, they click on Spring. And then there's a 1, 2, 3 process. If they need something clean, like their carpet, they hit clean. Then the list of contractors come up, and they pick a carpet cleaner. And that carpet cleaner will take $25 off. Here's the important thing. Once you have the card, keep the card, because you can use it over and over again. Carpet cleaner today, plumber tomorrow, and electrician 3 years from now.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this card. You always keep it in your wallet. You can keep reusing it and reusing it.
It's like a discount card, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And it's great because it's plastic. It holds up. It's not one of those little paper flimsy ones that that you get, or the ones that go on your keychain. I hate those. The grocery store ones that go on the keychain. Those drive me crazy being on my keys. So I like having a plastic card in my purse. Just keep it right there with my credit cards.
And by the way, it is free, and we send it to you for free. And there are no tricks to this. Mm-hmm. We do want you to use our pre-qualified contractors. Sure. But you can order as many as you like. It's transferable, so you can let your neighbor use it. If you lose it, order another one. No big deal.
Yeah, and tell people about it, because if your neighbor needs one, they can get their own for free. So tell me, how do you said you only go by word of mouth, kind of picking your
yes,
your contractors, but they're all pre-qualified. I mean, you have checked them out. You know that are they licensed, bonded?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's start with licensing. We do check their license, but be very careful. As a consumer, you have to understand most contractors in the state of Texas do not need to be licensed. Your air conditioning company does, your pest control, plumbers, electricians. Your roofer does not, and the pool builder can dig a hole in your backyard, and he or she does not have to be licensed. So we do check licenses if the state requires it. We check their insurance. We do a one-on-one interview. I say I, the founder, Jim, does that interview. And we check references. We ask them to provide homeowner references and 2 business references to make sure they're paying their bills on time.
Okay, good. And tell us right now, a lot of consumers, instead of selling their houses, have been kind of just sticking around in their houses, waiting for prices to get a little bit better on homes. As a result, they've been doing a lot of remodeling and just sticking that out in the long term instead of selling. Tell us about some of those remodeling trends that you're seeing.
Shannon, you're right. I'll start off with a trend that's very interesting. About 3 years ago, many custom home builders got into the remodeling business, and they contacted us saying, hey, we're a remodeler. And I said, how long have you been in remodeling? Well, kind of recently. We used to build houses, but that market's really not there anymore.
Right.
People aren't moving as much. They still have jobs. They still have money, but they don't want to spend it on a new house. They're kind of paralyzed, so they want to put it in their existing home. Mm-hmm. The best place to put money in a home, bathrooms and kitchens, and that's primarily how it has been forever. What are you looking at? Well, if you're going to be selling your house in the near future, you might want to consider the latest countertops, because countertops is the biggest thing. Formica is out. Tile is out. Mm-hmm. Corian is not as popular as it was. There's silestone and, there's all kinds of products. Granite's probably the best way to go today, and that's what people are doing. There aren't many kitchens today in a house over a certain amount of money that does not have a granite countertop. So, of course, the kitchen and the bathrooms are the most important thing when you're putting more money into the house. When you're thinking about putting that pool in, that pool is just for you. You're not going to get the money out of the pool short term. If your roof is leaking, you're just going to have to get that done. You're not going to get the money out of the roof. If it costs $10,000 for a re-roof, that's what's going to be expected at closing, because if it doesn't pass inspection, it's got to get fixed.
Right. But you don't get that money back out of it, which is painful for people trying to sell.
It costs a lot of money to have a house. If you want to have a house, I often say it's really for you. Can you make money on a house? Yeah, you got to be there for a while, but really buy that house that's for you. Mm-hmm. Put the money in it for you, and when you sell it, hopefully the people who are looking at it want to buy it. And that's another tip too, and this, Shannon, also try to keep things relatively neutral and attractive to the average buyer.
Sure. One of the analogies that I've heard before is putting a new roof on is kind of like putting new tires on your car and then you total it. They don't give you anything for those new tires.
Nope.
So, but you're right. If you need it, you just have to get it. It's one of those things. And I will agree with you on the granite. When I do resale houses, when I sell resale houses, the two main things that I hear are, one, I want granite countertops, and two, I want hardwood floors. Are you hearing a lot about hardwood floors? Because that seems to be the big thing. When I show houses with the tile floors, they just back away from them. They say, no, I'd rather have the hardwoods.
Tile's out a little bit. Hardwood is huge. And you know what? What's really interesting about hardwood is really timeless. If you go with a traditional hardwood look, you're likely to get away with that over time. If you look at houses up in the northern part of the country, there's some houses 100 years old with original hardwood floors. They're not going to put carpet over it, and they're not going to put tile.
Right.
And they used to put carpet over that back in the 70s and 80s, but today they pulled off that carpet and refinished. Wood floors are warm. They're natural. Granite is warm and natural, too. Even though granite's cold to the touch, it's warm feeling. It's a natural stone.
And they have so many options. I mean, when you go to the granite yard, there's so many to choose from. You can get whatever you want. So tell us, you said you're in different parts of town. You said you're in Spring, the Woodlands. Tell us all the areas. You go all over.
We're in about 11 different areas. Let me see if I can get them all. On the west side of town, we're in Katy, and we're in Richmond, and we are in Sugar Land, and we're down in Pearland. We're over in Clear Lake. We are in the Memorial area, the Cy-Fair area, Spring, the Woodlands, Kingwood. So pretty much anywhere you are in the listening area, we are available to you at checkapro.com. When you go there, just click on your local area, and it's all there. Something else I want to say, Shannon, too. People often ask, what's the difference between what we do and what other online contractor websites do? It's very similar, but here's the difference. I founded the company here in the Houston area. Mm-hmm. I'm local. I've got my own radio show here on AM 700 KSEV as well. You can contact me. You can just go to the website and email me, and I'll call you if you have a problem with any of our contractors. Remember, I interview each and every one, so I know the plumber, the roofer, and the landscaper.
What else do you have besides painters, plumbers, landscapers? Give us some examples of other people that you have, other contractors.
Well, picture this. Anything that you would have done on your home, we pretty much have. So people ask us, hey, do you have doctors? No. Think about this. Think about the home service provider coming up your driveway in a service truck with the tool belt on. So anything for your house. If you need something painted, if you need plumbing and electric and roofing, handyman is a huge category because it's very broad. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of remodeling in different categories. We've got bathroom remodelers, kitchen remodelers, and general remodelers. We have people who can clean your house. We have pressure washers. We have people who can clean your roof. So anything for that house.
The handyman is great. One, for single women and women who've lost their spouses and need some help around the house. But also, I love the handyman for those women like me who honeys don't like the honey-do list.
There you go.
And then I can just, hey, here's my honey-do list, and I just give it to the handyman and have him take care of it. So I love having a handyman that I can just schedule a 2-hour block, come knock out these 5 things I need done, and that's a great thing. So it's good. It's hard to find a good handyman, so you have a great resource for that.
And we make sure they're good. And like I said, if they're not, out they go.
What about staycations? We've heard a lot about that. Vacations are so expensive, and people have been on a tight budget these last couple of years with the economy. And so a lot of people are going in and kind of making an outdoor atmosphere that they can kind of live in, really. We're seeing people with covered patios with couches and overstuffed chairs and fireplaces, and being able to just go ahead and cook outside with the granite countertops and the having even the side burners where you can just do everything outside. What do you think about those? Add value?
They add value while you're living in the house for sure. So the staycation does add value for the owner immediately because they're not spending money at Disney World. They're putting it into their home and they're spending time with their family. That's great value for the family. In the end, it could, you can make a case that the house that has the extras in the backyard and that backyard oasis is going to sell more. So if you have the same model a couple houses down, and this other one, yes, had a $80,000 investment in the backyard with the pool and the patio cover and the fire pit and so forth, people buy emotionally, and you know that. They buy emotionally, and as long as they can get approved, they're like, okay, well, I feel good about it, and they buy that way. And so, yes, it can be great because you're saving time, but what's really important to me is being with my family. So if you can be home and go right out to the pool and cook outside instead of having to go to a community pool or go on a vacation, there's great value while you're in the house, and I think you can get your money out when you sell the house.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you being here today with us, Jim, and we're going to be right back in just a minute after a commercial break. But first, I want to tell you can always find our guests and their websites at rrea.com/radio. So if you miss a segment or you have more questions or want to contact one of our guests, you can always find information there at rrea.com/radio.